Shalom, babies. Oh my God, you guys. I'm so glad to be talking to you again. It's been a while since my last video blog, and a lot of you have noticed and asked why I've been kind of absent from social media and public life for the past few years. So I wanted to finally give you the truth and give you the insight of what's been actually going on with me in my life. A few years ago, as some of you know who've been following my journey, I took the leap and kind of came back to Estonia and kind of quit my life in a way that I had known it before. And it was just kind of like a tectonic shift in me that at some point made me realize that, oh wow, I sort of like have it all when you look at it. But deep down inside, and now looking in retrospect, there were so many things about my life that were just completely flawed and that were built on a foundation that was not solid. And since I kind of got, thrown into the whirlwind of the music business and traveling the world and like living on my own and chasing my dream and doing all kinds of crazy things, I guess my whole focus, my whole 20s had just been about kind of like outwardly doing things and putting energy and effort into becoming the artist that I wanted to become, and just kind of like going and going and going and going. So I experienced an extreme burnout and kind of also like a realization that everything that I thought I was, everything that I thought I wanted, I kind of got to see it close and had a moment where I realized that, maybe I don't want that. And maybe who I wanted to be now that I am that, maybe that's not who I want to be anymore. Maybe that identity is outdated. And I actually even had like a crisis of identity, in a sense that I didn't know if I wanted to make music anymore, because my experience in the music business, I felt like was, of course it was great and I learned a lot and I did a lot of things, but my experience in the music business was kind of like soul crushing, to be honest. And I've been kind of quiet about the whole Me Too movement that's been going crazy in the world. But now looking back, I had a lot of moments where I could have actually sued somebody, I've had an executive grab my ass, and I've had team members or like mentors that basically told me that I should be, fucking this person or that person to basically get ahead. And the whole time I was like just this little thing from this little, town in Estonia. And I'm really, really glad that I always stayed true to myself. So I never sacrificed my integrity. But there were so many people around me that kind of taught me that this is the way how it's done. And honestly, I just got so sick of it all. So I was like, fuck it, And I think some of you already know this part of my journey, So I came to Estonia, I came to the forest like indefinitely. I was so burnt out, like my body was just sick. I knew that if I was gonna like go one more inch, I was gonna develop some kind of like a serious disease of the body, and it was just kind of like when things started like personally breaking down for me. And I came to Estonia and started making some art from my soul again, which was also very scary because I kind of like closed all the doors that connected me to LA and a lot of the music business and a lot of the things. So I was like, oh wow, I don't wanna be a part of this business. I do love music, I do want to make art, but unless there's going to be some kind of like a backdoor way of doing this, I don't want to do it, you know. So I kind of like came here and started like the slow, strenuous process of kind of looking at myself for the very first time. And to be honest with you, when I came to the forest, I feel like I met myself for the first time, because I don't think that until like 3 years ago I had ever actually like processed my emotions ever, or looked at any of my own shit, you know. And maybe it's just kind of like how people are when they're really young. But yeah, there's just a time happened in my life where I was like, oh wow, I have it all, but deep down inside I feel like I don't have anything. So yeah, I came to the forest, and around the same time something happened in my life that like completely destroyed me, and that was an end to a relationship that I was in for 9 years total. At that point it had been 7 years, and I mean it was the most, I don't even know how to say it in one word. It was the most important thing that has happened to me, I think, as an adult, because something that I thought was so solid and something that I was so used to and took so for granted kind of disappeared. And not only did it disappear, but the ending of it was just absolutely the most humiliating, I don't even know what the words would be for that. It was the most humiliating, strenuous, like soul-crushing, fucking transformative experience I've ever had. And several years have passed now that I've been completely distanced from that situation, and I seriously took the time to examine, you know, thoroughly who I was, why I was ever in toxic situations, you know, in my career and personal life, realizing that because I'm attracting this toxicity, I must be toxic, and kind of started stepping forward the path of full responsibility, and started working with a spiritual teacher to get rid of a lot of gunk, to get rid of the victim mentality that, you know, something was done to me or that life was somehow happening to me, and kind of transforming myself into this person who takes full responsibility. And when there is something outside of me as a reflection that I don't like, then I have to look at it and take responsibility for that. Why is this showing up in my life? What is this trying to teach me? What can I learn from this? Why am I reacting to this? Is there a wound? Let's get to it, you know? I just got to a place where there were so many things that were just completely falling apart in my life and that I was so dissatisfied with, that I was forced into like a massive transformation process. And at first, I didn't, of course, understand that, because when you're just kind of like face down in the mud, going through something, you don't see it yet, you know? You don't see the big picture. And I'm glad that I can finally talk to you about this, because I'm definitely, yeah, I can say now that I've come out on the other side. And of course, I'm still doing the work. Of course, there are still things popping up. But the reason why I've been kind of absent from social media or public life for the past few years is because I was just building a whole new me. And all the energy that I had actually just went into emotional healing. And there was really nothing left to share with anybody. You know, it was a time of kind of like introspection and birth for me. And I wanted to give myself the chance to just step by step, you know, prioritize my self-care and prioritize my self-love. And also when it comes to social media, you know, we kind of live in this world where now the outside approval is so evident, you know, everything you do is measured by likes, the amount of likes. If you have a lot of likes, so that means that the things you're doing must be amazing. And if you don't have any likes, you know, I can see how people who aren't fully formed yet can interpret that as, you know, not being worthy maybe, which could be not any further from the truth. So I also took it as kind of like an experiment with myself, and kind of like a part of the lesson in that self-love is like, well, you know, who am I when nobody's watching? I think maybe some hardcore moon babies that know my story would know that I got my first record deal when I was 15 years old, and even before that, you know, I won this talent show in Estonia. So basically I've been famous, or whatever that means, since I was 14 years old. So, you know, there were phases, of course it was hard too. I faced a lot of criticism, and it was extremely hard to be on that road, and, you know, just to be so young and to already be going through so much shit, you know. But at the same time, I guess you do also get, you know, that kind of praise for what you do. So you build your whole identity around the public persona, in a sense. You know, I never had to, like, I had things happening for me without me really having to cultivate certain, you know, personal aspects of myself maybe that I would have had to cultivate if I didn't have my career, you know, taking off when I was so young. So, yeah, a time happened where I had lived a good portion of my life. I had developed an identity, and I realized that that identity was kind of meaningless to me. And I wanted to feel like I can fully love myself without doing anything, without achieving anything, without getting any likes on the internet, you know, because I'm a 30-year-old woman. Like, my self-value cannot be based on what somebody thinks on the internet or how many clicks something that I do have. And also, when it comes to energy, you know, there is feminine and masculine energy. And so the feminine energy is all about receptivity. The masculine energy is all about, you know, how to say, action. And my whole life I had kind of lived in that masculine energy where I was just always like, I was the most driven, most ambitious person since I was born. And I was just like, always like, go, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve. And when I came to the nature, there was this shift that happened in me where I was like, I don't want to go, you know, I want to lean back. And so I started just kind of practicing relaxation and practicing surrender. I think surrender would be the right word. So all these crazy changes were going on inside me, and just a lot of heavy lifting, which in psychology is actually called shadow works. Shadow works! And here I want to take a moment and thank all you hardcore moon babies that have been with me on this journey. I know that I've somewhat kept you guys in the dark about my journey. That's just because there was so much processing going on. There was so much internal heavy lifting going on that it just wasn't the time for me to share anything. I was just going through all the pledged things that I need to fulfill with the album, and I was just so grateful to see how many people had supported me. And just the kind of love, you know, that you guys continuously have for me on this journey. So thank you so much. So yeah, that's the story. And I'm now making tons of art about this project. Shadowworks is coming out. Savage's music video is about to come out, where I do explore some of these like darker themes. Also exploring some other darker themes visually for the other singles. So very excited. Everything is in the works. And some of you already know, but I also wrote a book about my experience as a woman going through a hardcore breakup and feeling like I was worth fucking nothing, and starting to do proper work on self-care and self-healing and responsibility for who I was. So I actually originally started just kind of keeping a diary because it was just too much. It was just too much to handle what I was going through. I think I cried every day, all day for like years. Like I was a complete fucking wreck. So this book just came out in Estonia. Let me see. Where I'm teaching all the women, and why not men and whoever just want to kind of take little practical steps on self-love and evolving your spirituality, and just kind of like evolving the quality of your life and finding strength and finding balls. Not literally, but yeah, to just realize that, now directed to all my goddess moon babies. Oh God, you guys, I have gone so deep within these past few years. I just can't wait to share everything that I've thought about and everything that I've realized. But this is my how to say, this is my gift to all the goddess moon children, because a woman is really something else, and a woman is a very, very powerful creature. And we have so much to give to the world, and we have so much evolution and transformation to do with our all sorts of wounds. The book actually I wrote in 2 languages, so in the new year it's also going to come out in English. Very, very, very excited for that. So here's my little story in pink and gold. So yeah, I hope some of your questions got answered here. I'm so glad to be in this new phase now where I have so much to share with you guys. Your feedback has been absolutely incredible, as it is every time, and I just can't thank you enough for that. And I'm back, so more to come. Integrity, love, unity. Love you.